Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ. And this episode, we're doing something a little different. We're checking out our AAA team and playing some action with them. I want to see what these prospects got in our organization. But first, we're going to be looking at the starter of this game, Sandy Alcantara. And he's a guy that's 65 overall. He's 22 years old, from the Dominican. But he's got some good velocity. You know he can throw hard. I want to see what he can do. Can he get guys out? He's already actually gone up 2 overall already this season. So I think, he's already going to be a part of the September call-ups. I don't think that's a question. But can he make it up earlier than that? I don't know, because maybe I don't know if I want to start his service clock right now. But I do want to see what he has, and you never know. I mean, if he goes up to about like 68, maybe 69 before the year's over, before the September call-ups, he possibly has a shot to make it to the show and make a couple of starts. So looking at what we look like at the different positions here, at AAA, Lewin Diaz, he's 21 years old, 60 overall. He's a guy to look at. I don't think he's close to touching the major leagues, but I want to look at some other positions that might be close. So Giavotella actually has some MLB experience, and he's pretty decent. I mean, he's a decent overall guy too. He hit 255 as an average for a career, but 3 seasons ago he hit 272 in a full season. The year after that, he hit 260 in a full season. In 2017, he only played in 7 games. So this year, he's kind of fresh. So he's 30 years old. Remember, he's older. But I see him as like a stopgap guy, a guy that can hold it down until some of these young minor leaguers come up. So he's a guy to look out for this game. But the guy I'm really keeping an eye on in this game is Yu-Chang Chang, and the reason why is because he's hot right now. He's hitting 345. He's our best hitter in the organization right now as far as average goes, hitting for average. And I want to see what he's got, because I think this guy is solid. He's got 67 arm strength, which is going to get better, and shortstops in this game don't have very strong arms. There's probably like 5, I think, with an arm strength stronger than 80. So, I mean, that just gives you a meter of how good his arm strength is right now. It's 67, which is pretty good for a 22-year-old prospect. But I want to see what he's got. Also, an outfield spot that might open up in our major league at the major league level. Lamonte Wade's going to start in center field this game. Monty Harrison is actually going to play left field. He's going to be out. This is a guy to look out for too. He's a number 2 prospect in the organization. So I want to see what he's got at the AAA level. He's only 22, so he's got some room to grow. But Aristides Aquino, I mean, he's a guy that I really want to keep an eye on, because he's got the arm strength, he's got the speed, he's got the power. I need to get his vision up a little bit, but I want to see what he's got at the AAA level. So let's hop into this action, see what these guys got. I mean, maybe there's some prospects that we're missing here that may do better than what we expect, because Aquino is hitting 262, Monty Harrison's only hitting 248. But I want to see what these guys got. I mean, let's just hop into this action, man. Let's get it. So if we are ranking our prospects in our organization that are not Lewis Brinson and Brian Anderson, this is how it looks. Trevor Rogers is going to be our top prospect, our only A potential guy. He has an ETA of 2020, and he's doing pretty good at the AA level, so that could change. Monty Harrison behind him, Braxton Garrett. Yu-Chang Chang is a guy that I'm looking at. I definitely want to see what he's got. His ETA could possibly move up. Hassan Diaz is on schedule. Alcantara, Hernandez, and Sierra are probably on schedule, with Hernandez being the one that has the easiest chance of moving up. And then last on the list, Aquino. I do want to see what he has. He has the earliest ETA, but you never know. He could possibly move up this year. He could possibly move up next year, but he does have an ETA of this year, because he's the highest overall guy out of all these guys. So here is Yu-Chang Chang, our top prospect in the infield. And in his first at bat, he's popping up to right field, but he got good wood on it, so he made solid contact. But here's a guy that I didn't want to keep an eye on as well, Johnny Giavotella. He's actually almost 30 years old. I think he is 30 years old. But he's a guy that has MLB experience. I want to see what he's got. And right off the bat, he's getting a hit up the middle. He knows I'm watching him. And here's Monty Harrison for his first at bat. And he hits one down the right field line. And that one's going to drop inside the chalk. And that's going to be a double here for Monty Harrison in the first inning. So next up comes Aquino. Can he get it done with two guys in scoring position? And he pops one up to right field, and that one is going to be 3 outs here in the first inning. And on our side pitching, Sandy Alcantara, another top 10 prospect of ours. I want to see what he's got, and he could be a guy that could accelerate his ETA as well with some good performances this year in the minor leagues. I don't think I'm gonna move him up full-time at all this year. I think there's probably like 0 chance, but I want to see what he's got. I mean, he has a chance to, he's gonna definitely be in spring training next year. I want to see if he has what he's got. I mean, I want to see what he's got. I mean, because he's got some pretty good velocity on his fastball. He reaches 95 to 100 miles an hour sometimes. 100 miles an hour is pretty rare, but he kind of sits in that 95 to 96 range. But here's Aquino in center, actually, and he's bobbling a line drive right at him. That's something that I was kind of upset at. I mean, that's a play that you got to have, and if you want to make it to the majors, plays like that, you got to catch. But here's Alcantara getting into a little bit of trouble beating the lefty hitter on that one. But with 2 outs, facing another lefty, he strikes him out with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside half of the plate. And here's Jacob Ingram, a guy that's not on our top 10 list, but he's a prospect that we actually found at that prospect showcase earlier before this franchise started, and he grounds out to second base. So here's Lamonte Wade here in the 3rd inning for his second at bat, but this time he's walking on a 3-2 count, and he's on first. So Yu Chang comes up, and he's definitely hitting the best out of any player in our organization in the minor leagues this season. And there he goes. He continues with a hit up the middle, and Lamonte Wade is going to advance to 3rd on that one. So guys on 1st and 3rd here, 1 out. Johnny Giavatella comes up and he hits a hard liner up the middle, and luckily that ricochets off the pitcher because they get him out at first base. So now with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position, Monty Harrison at the plate. He doubled in his first at bat, and this time he hits one up the middle, and he's got the speed. He's beating this one out, but look at Yu Chang. He runs all the way from second base, gets home on that one. I like the aggressiveness from Yu Chang. That's definitely something we wanted to see. And here's Aquino for his second at bat with a 2-1 lead, and he watches a ball on the outside. Monty Harrison advances to second base. And Monty Harrison, I got to talk about this guy. So he has 68 speed. In real life, though, he actually had a very, very good season last year in the minor leagues. He had 20 stolen bases and showed some power. So maybe that's a guy that will also improve with speed as well, because he's got 68 speed. The one thing I like about Aquino is that he's got 77 speed, and he's got great arm strength, 84. So I do want to see Monty Harrison's arm strength get a little higher than it is, and his speed to improve. So here we are into the 5th inning now, still with the 2-1 lead. Yu Chang's coming up to bat, 1 for 2 up to this point, but with a guy on 1st and 2nd, this time hitting an outside pitch and driving this one in a deep right field, but that's going to be barely foul. So on the next pitch, a couple pitches later, he does end up striking out on the slider, but that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see that if he had that home run potential, if he had that home run power, maybe he's a guy that can hit for 20 home runs when he gets to the show. That's what I want to see. I want to see that potential with his power. But here in the 5th inning, here's Giavatella sliding in safe to second. I like what I'm seeing from him, and he's hitting the ball solid, and that's what I want to see, because a lot of our guys at the major league level are just not hitting the ball solid at all. And here's Monty Harrison displaying that power one more time with a deep fly ball to right field, and this one's going to score a run. So a 4-1 lead here for the New Orleans Baby Cakes. And here Aquino comes up 0 for 2 up to this point. I want to see what he does with some adversity at the plate so far, and he gets a hit down the line, and that's a powerful hit. He shows his power down the line, and he gets into second base with that 77 speed. Like I said, the speed is just impressive with him, and he gets in for a double. So here's Lewin Diaz, and he's not a top 10 prospect, even though he has higher potential than some of these guys. I just don't see him developing right now. I want to see what he can do with his numbers. He's not putting up great numbers right now, but he's doing just enough to stay in the organization, because we did trade for him earlier in the season. So I do want to see what he can do. But here's Austin Nola, a first baseman who often gets lost in our organization, but here he is with a hard hit past the shortstop. for a hit, and there's no outs in the 6th inning, so this might be looking like a big inning. And here's Jacob Ingram once again hitting the ball hard to the second baseman, and that's what I want to see. I want to see them hit the ball hard, even though it was a ground ball and it probably should have been double play. The hard hit, the contact on that one definitely made it tough for the second baseman. So here's Lamonte Wade once again, and he's probably, if I had to rank Lamonte Wade, he is outside of the top 10, but if I had to rank him, he's probably at number 11 or 12. Remember, we have Sean Little as well in Double-A. He's a pretty good prospect. He's got speed. So him and Lamonte Wade are definitely some of the guys on the outside of the top 10, but not far off. I mean, honestly, anything could happen. So here's Gia Patella one more time with a 7-1 lead. He shows his warning track power, but I want to see if he can possibly move up to the MLB level to help us out a little bit, because we've been struggling at the plate. And here's Teheran Guerrero, and I want to look at him because he's 27 years old. He's only 61 overall, but look at his velocity, 99 velocity. So you know I'm going to be using that fastball. Look at that, 99 miles an hour. And since he's so old, I mean, he's 61 overall, but I can control this fastball pretty well. I mean, he's hitting his spots as he gets 3 strikeouts in the inning. Maybe he's a guy, even at 61 overall, he could possibly move up. But here's Monty Harrison in the 7th inning getting a high fastball. And this is what I was talking about. He's got power. And this game really showed me something. Monty Harrison, who is the top outfield prospect in our organization, he definitely is showing me some things. Maybe his ETA could speed up a little bit. So we do bring in Javi Guerra to finish off this game. Now it's 8-4, and he gets the strikeout on that one. So 2 things that came from this game that I wanted to see that pretty much validated what I was thinking. Yu Chang Chang makes great contact. He hits the ball with power every time he swings the bat. And Monty Harrison, I mean, what an impressive show from him. And also Jacob Ingram. Jacob Ingram's a guy to watch. He's see potential. He went 4 for 5 in this game. He's only hitting .216, but I liked what I saw from him because we do need catchers in our organization behind JT Realmuto. We're going to be looking to shore that up. So that's going to do it for this AAA Showcase New Orleans Baby Case. We get 19 hits in this game. Great team effort. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. What do you think? I mean, should any of these guys be moved up? Do any of these guys look like they should be moved up this year or just for the September call-ups? Or let me know what you guys think. So stay tuned. We're heading into some more MLB action next week, next episode, so you don't want to miss that. Let's go.